Greetings, dear friends. Happy Monday to you. I trust you had a beautiful weekend and are all ready to step into this final week of October. Here we are with our usual Monday check-in and our inner compass forecast. So before we get into pulling cards, just feel into the energies of the moon. With this inner compass forecast, I like to just start us off by feeling into what's happening with the moon. The moon actually is almost like that's the action place or the activator of our inner compass. So this week's lunar influence is from the first quarter phase of the moon in the sign of Aquarius. So this is about time to this week are going to start reflecting on the intentions, the ideas, the goals, the dreams that we may be visited with last week with the new moon. With it being in Aquarius, this is actually very much a time to look at what are your values, what are your truths, what are you really pausing for a wee moment. And there may be a bit of an energy of that this week, of just pausing, hand over your heart, deep breath. What are my values? Am I following them? Am I taking action steps in the direction of my most auspicious dreams? There's never a right or wrong in these kind of questions, but it's really about allowing you to follow what is the best way for you, and are you? And why I'm saying that is because there may be a wee bit of a sense of a push-pull energy this week, in that with the first quarter phase of the moon in Aquarius, it's about innovation and great ideas and following that authentic truth. And then, but the sun is in the sign of Scorpio, and Scorpio really inspires us or encourages us to look really, really deep within us. That's why I think it's so important to just keep coming back to, when we put our hand over our heart, there's so many things happening for us when we do that. One of them is that we're getting in touch with the seat of our soul. Some people think of your heart space as the seat of your soul, connecting and calibrating with your higher self, with your higher wisdom. But the other part of it, I think, is really important, especially during times of discombobulation and maybe seeing stress or things that maybe you don't really like witnessing outside. It's so important to all of us to calm our nervous system. And this is one of the most beautiful, fast, it's always here. You just got to remember it. So hand over your heart and take a few deep breaths. I trust that makes sense. If anything that I say on these sessions confuse you, discombobulate you, trigger you, or you need a wee bit more guidance or support, just put it in the comments below or message me directly. The other thing that I wanted to say about these inner compass forecast sessions is that if you are interested in going deeper, I do these weekly sessions with you, but if you're wanting to go deeper with the lunar support and the getting in touch with your inner wisdom, I have a membership group, and I will put the link for that in the comments below, that I encourage you to go check out if you want to start getting deeper levels of support. So now, take another nice deep breath. So now we know that we're going to start taking actions or calibrating towards what is it you need to action or act upon for your intentions, or even the ideas that are coming through for you. So it's about getting in touch, contemplating, but at the same time with a view of doing things, acting upon guidance. So now we check in with 4 different decks of cards, and the first one I always like to start with is this one. It's my letting go guidance system, because as we evolve and continue doing our work, always think of that as an upward spiral, and there's always things, patterns, beliefs, ideas, goals even, that are no longer part of who we are becoming. And so that's how come I like to step into this guidance first with What do we need to let go of? What do we need to let go of in order to really recognize the action steps? Really recognize what is the most innovative way of getting traction on this big goal or idea or project. So just take a nice deep breath with me and let's see what comes up. Okay, it's fear. I always think of, whenever I see that word fear, false evidence appearing real, F-E-A-R. And so where does fear stop you? And what can you just kind of come in and say, okay, there is fear in me. You know, we all have fear. It gets triggered, it comes up. But is it an outmoded fear? Is it not based on what's really happening for you in this moment? So where does fear come up for you, and what do you need to just acknowledge it? Sometimes I think it's a really important piece to just say thank you. You know, if you have a little inner critic voice comes up and goes, oh gosh, you can't do that because the last time you tried it, it didn't work, or nobody's got your back, or those types of things. If you pause and just check in, is that really the truth? Or is it just an outmoded pattern or vestige left over from another phase of when I was? And in which case, you can just say thank you and let go. That's actually one of the first and most easy ways of letting something go, is to just have some gratitude for it, honor it, just say, I see you, but I don't need to listen to you, or let you, stop the best way, the best flow for me. I trust that makes sense. But like I said, if that triggered something for you, just let me know. There's many ways to let go of things that no longer serve who we are becoming. So now we're going to check in to see what wisdom of the tarot wants to guide us this week. This is an interesting one. It's the Six of Cups. So the Six of Cups, cups is always about emotions, about feelings. So I always think of feelings. How do I feel about myself here? However, the Six of Cups is kind of seeing or suggesting, be mindful of not ruminating or getting stuck in things that are no longer here. There's an energy of the Six of Cups of getting lost in our past or ruminating. Now, there's another beautiful energy of Six of Cups. So you need to feel into this and just see, is it, with this idea of letting go of fear, is there a propensity in you to be thinking of things that are happening right now based on past patterns? Or do you need to just celebrate and say, how do I feel about myself here? I feel great. I feel calm. I feel in flow. I feel like I'm accessing my inner child. That's another really key piece. So this is for you to be a wee bit of detective here and feel into, how is that one landing for you? And then using that to help navigate your choices or your decisions or those action steps that we're starting to take in alignment with our intentions and our goals. So now moving into the third deck of cards that we use, this is the Intuitive Oracle, the Intuitive Whispers Oracle. So let's see which cards want to help us make best use of these energies as we navigate forward. Gosh, this one keeps coming up for us. So interesting that we've got the Six of Cups, and this one's feel into your emotions. I saw a meme on Facebook just recently that was talking about the propensity of all of us collectively of not allowing ourselves to just relax and feel what we feel. If you watch these sessions with me before, one of my favorite questions, which I use and I really encourage you to try it on, is how do I feel about myself here? And really allow that guidance, allow that to bubble up to help inform you. Are you in a place that resonates? Are you doing things that light you up? Are you actually telling yourself the truth about yourself to yourself and surrounding yourself with the support and the vibes and the people and tribe. It's like creating our soul tribe. But that can only happen if we get really deeply in touch with our emotions. Because sometimes we can be in environments or doing things that are maybe not in alignment, and there's a wee bit of an energy of trepidation or woulda, coulda, shoulda. But if we don't slow things down enough to get that intel, then we've lost access to that wisdom, and the emotion can sometimes just kind of peter away, if that makes sense. So the next one, and this is an interesting one too, is that your body's like a book. Your body knows. This is so important so when you say, how do I feel about myself? What emotion's coming up? What does your body say? What does yes feel like in your body? What does no feel like in your body? What does slow down because something bigger, better, more aligned is about to come into being? But it's all coming back to two things. One, calm your nervous system. This is such a theme that I've been working with and really encouraging, is calming your nervous system, but also recalibrating your need for calmness, for peace, for rest, for downtime. Because always coming back into alignment with your soul knows. And that card actually makes me reminds me of something that I've often said, is that every time you have a question, every time you're looking for a solution or an answer or a guidance to give your choice, this way or this way, it's looking for you. So it's not about keep running and running and running and oh my gosh, I have to figure this out and I have to keep knocking on all these doors until I get that yes. No, ask the question, trust. You know what? If I've asked the question, the answer is already in existence. So now you do and attend to what's in front of you, and then trust. This is the other part, is trust that you will recognize the answer when it shows up. I trust that makes sense. All right, beautiful friends. I'm just about ready to send you off into this final week of October. Auspicious week of October. But before we do, I'm just going to pull one of my Liberate Your Inner Truth, because that's a very strong vibe with this energy that we are in this week, is to liberate your inner truth and allow it to guide you forward. Beautiful. And the card that's come up is I am capable. It's a beautiful reminder. You are capable. If you have an idea or a dream, you are capable of having it, of manifesting it, of experiencing it. Such an important piece to lean into, to soften into. But let me read this out to you. I'm doing my best today, and that is good enough. Today is going to be an awesome day. I am capable of achieving my goals. I am proud of myself. That's a very beautiful mantra for you. I wish you a superb week ahead. Like I said, reach out if you need any support or guidance navigating these times that we are in. And I will be back again with you next week. Much love to you, and thank you for watching.